The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Glory to you, O Lord. After Jesus had revealed himself to his disciples and eaten breakfast with them, he said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?" Simon Peter answered him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my lambs." He then said to Simon Peter a second time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Simon Peter answered him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." He said to him, "Tend my sheep." He said to him the third time, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was distressed that he had said to him a third time, "Do you love me?" And he said to him, "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." Jesus said to him, "Feed my sheep. Amen, amen, I say to you, when you were younger, you used to dress yourself and go where you wanted. But when you grow old, you will stretch out your hands, and someone else will dress you and lead you where you do not want to go." He said this, signifying by what kind of death he would glorify God. And when he had said this, he said to him, "Follow me." The Gospel of the Lord. Yeah, it's a beautiful and a memorable scene, this gospel passage that we have that really begins to draw John's gospel to a close. And, you know, we have, of course, the account. We're meant to be reminded of the account of Jesus' passion, where St. Peter, standing around a charcoal fire, denies Jesus 3 times, and the cock crows its second time. You know, here, as the disciples have made their way on shore, likewise, they have that charcoal fire that Jesus had going in the background. We know, I think, that scent is one of this is perhaps the sense that is most strongly related to memory. And how powerful, I mean, of course, St. Peter didn't need that to remind him of what had happened, but it certainly would have drawn him back to that night. And we see here in this encounter exactly what Christian mission and ministry is all about. We see exactly what it means to follow Jesus and to live our lives as Jesus followers, right? What does it begin with? What does it begin with? It begins with forgiveness. It's an interesting thing here, right? Because as I was saying, Peter, that event is on Peter's mind. But is forgiveness on his mind? Is Peter the one who's seeking forgiveness? Or is Jesus seeking to forgive Peter? Is he the one who takes the initiative here? Or is Peter the one who takes the initiative? Or is it Jesus? This is a very important question. It's Jesus who takes the initiative. It's Jesus who's asking the question, "Do you love me?" Right? Peter doesn't run ashore and say, "Jesus, I love you. I need you to forgive me." He's dragged back into that fateful moment. And part of that is that, of course, there's a lot of pain that goes with sin. There's a lot of pain that goes with rejecting Jesus and not going his way when we know that he was calling us. Right? Peter's faith in Jesus falters and fails. He denies him. He doesn't really want to go back there. He probably just wants to move on. Well, let's forget about it and move on. But Jesus takes him back there. Why is that? Because he's cruel? No, because he knows that St. Peter needs healing. He needs healing and he needs to be strengthened. And the only way to heal him and give him strength is to forgive him. I say this knowing that many of you are going to confession today. I hope you're listening to it. Right? how do we move ahead in our relationship with Jesus? It's to be forgiven. And it's to receive the healing and strength of his own life of love that he wants to pour out on us. And he's doing it. By our own initiative, we would not do it. By our own strength or wherewithal, we would not do it. We would not seek him out for it. We just say, oh, let's move on. But no, he wants our healing. He wants our wholeness. He wants our whole heart. And in order for that to happen, he has to forgive us. And he wants to. And because Jesus went all the way, right? Jesus went all the way to death out of love for us, he can. Right? Because Jesus has dealt with sin and death, then he can conquer the rule of sin and death in us. In us. So this is the work of forgiveness. And then what is so closely connected to the work of forgiveness, to the work of healing and strengthening that Jesus wants to accomplish in us? It's mission. And they're inseparably bound. They're inseparably joined. Forgiveness and mission. You don't get to be forgiven and go sit on the couch and pretend like nothing happened. When we're forgiven by love. And that force is so strong that it doesn't just take possession of us and our whole heart and life. It spills out into the world around us. It has to. You know, what we say, we could say something to the effect of, what is the proof of Peter's love? He's asked 3 times, do you love me? Yes, you know that I love you. Yes, you know that I love you. Right? But the response is, his love also has to take flesh. And it takes flesh in bringing God's love to life. Feed my sheep. Right? Love with the love that you are given. Love with the love that you're given. If we don't love with the love that we're given, what do we have? What have we done? Who are we? Is our identity as Jesus followers at that point? It can't be. We might be good consumers, right? We might know when to show up and stand up and sit down and all the rest, but are we Jesus followers at that point? No, not until with his power, with his strength, we are bringing his love to life in the world. And that's, my friends, that's what it's all about. So, I don't know, if you have to, clear the deck today. Whatever's going on in your mind, clear the deck today. Because there's one important thing, and it's Jesus. It's Jesus. And as we enter into that loving exchange with him, where he receives us and forgives us and restores us and rejuvenates us, he sets our foot again on his mission. And it's ours then to allow that overflowing of his own life of love to take place. Right? To give our whole heart and our whole life to him in such manner that we become a vessel for his love to the world. That's what he wants. That's what he wants for us. That's the life of greatness that he's calling us to. That's the life of greatness that he's equipping us and nourishing and sustaining us in order to achieve.